Have you seen him?
What's that?
Hello, Gqeberha FM listeners. It's a beautiful day. The time is 12:59. Here in studio we have Mardon Louwskitter of Mardon Driving Academy. So, listeners, we're gonna read his bio just for you to get to know who we're talking to. But first, I would like to introduce our guest. Hi, Mardon Louwskitter.
Hey, how are you, Sanele?
Good, thanks, and yourself.
I'm great, thanks, man. I'm good.
So pleased to have you today in studio. We were blessed and we regard ourselves as the radio FM that is blessed. So we so
Yes.
happy to have you today.
Awesome.
Listeners, Mardon was born and raised in Port Elizabeth, this now called Gqeberha, by a single parent in Timothy Vally Bethelsdorp up until a certain age, and there he moved to live with his aunt and uncle. He reached and completed grade 12 in 2011, where he was a head boy at Chatty Senior Secondary School. Wonderful, nice. He got an opportunity to work at Best Home Electric and worked for approximately 3 years as a salesperson and did exceptionally well there, but got another job at a telecommunications company, Atio. At the Telecommunications Company, he was part of the Telkom Subcontractors. Here he did network engineering and worked there for 3 years as well. In 2014, he decided to create his own business while still working as a Telkom subcontractor, since he had some time in his hands and needed the extra cash. We all do. But this idea only commenced after his wife started having a huge ambition to obtain her driver's license. This encouraged them to get their own small car, and Mardon made it his mission to read up and get to know all there is about the K53 procedures to teach her how to drive. She was discouraged at first. He tried his best to let her feel at ease and even did research with regards to K53 and all the necessary details to ensure that she feels prepared. At this point, there were no extra funds for her to actually go to a driving school, so Mardon knew that teaching her himself would be the only way for her to obtain her license. At the end, after 3 years of preparation, she obtained a driver's license and has become one of the most confident drivers around. After seeing the incredible results and all the confidence his wife had obtained after his lessons, he knew for sure that this field is something he was passionate about. Mardon then started reaching out to friends and family and started offering his services to them. At the same time, he also trained himself to learn more about the road and focus on ways which he can create a driving school that is beyond just driving, but that helps his clients become confident. That's nice. Mardon's Driving Academy has become a business that he is so passionate about. From starting off with one single car and even having to fix that car many times over and over just in order to keep the business going was tough. But they remained persistent, and about 4 months ago, they bought almost 4 brand new cars. Oh wow! That is why it's important to never give up. The business keeps growing from strength to strength and glory to glory. That's God. As the business grew, so did the team involved, and the support grew immensely. And Mardon is extremely grateful and thankful to God, firstly for where He took them from and where He is taking them to. He would also not have been able to do it without the team. Their assistance, effort, and time has brought Mardon's Driving Academy to the place where it is today. All the previous, current, and present clients, thank you for choosing Mardon's Driving Academy. They are blessed as Mardon's Driving Academy and help them to be a blessing to you. That's an incredible bio, I must say. That's an incredible bio. Oh, wow.
Hey.
So we're listening to Travis Greeny song Made a Way. So the Lord made a way.
The Lord made a way.
The Lord
Definitely.
made a way. Can you tell us about that? What made you, like, where did you get this business idea?
Well, this business started, like you've read, by teaching my wife how to drive. At the time, I was still working at a telecommunications company,
Yeah.
and I had some time on my hands, and during that time, my wife and I, we had some finance issues. There wasn't the extra cash to go to a driving school, and she really wanted to learn how to drive, and we took it upon ourselves to get to know the ways and the standards of K53, and obviously I want to teach her the proper way. I'm a person who want to do things the right thing, the right way, the first time around.
Yeah.
So for me, it was all about knowing what to do exactly and how to do it for her. And then I started to read up and get more information and knowledge about the K53. And then as time went on, I tried teaching her as we went along, and then she gave up along the way. But I went on. I went on, obviously for personal reasons for her. She got despondent and things, she's being recently involved in an accident previously, and things had a lot to do with fear, until she was ready to get over the fear and then get back on that driving lessons. But I didn't stop there. I went on ahead because I was very curious. I was very curious about it, and I was very how can I put it, interested in the whole K53 procedures because it sounded interesting. And then as I went on, I started to gain more knowledge about K53. I started to, know how to do it, and I started to get friends involved and family involved, and I taught them how to do it. And as time went on, I saw that, hey, I'm really good at what I'm doing. And then it went from there. I said to one of my friends, hey, listen, you need to tell your buddy that this is a driving school. And then
your business
and it was a joke then.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I thought to myself tonight, you know what, I really need to put in more effort in this, and just get to know the procedures, how to register myself and things like that. Well, currently we are a registered driving school, a registered business, an approved driving school. We are qualified instructors, and we are compliant with everything that it is to be compliant with. So it started from there with my wife's ambition to learn to drive.
Okay, so can you please tell us about the process, when you the journey when you were teaching your wife how to drive,
the journey
complications and all that, because I don't think it was easy, having to have start. It was in a way starting your business from scratch, teaching her the basics and all that. Can you tell us about that?
Well, my wife is a very I can put an easy learner, I would say. She makes it easy in a way, but understanding also each other. It was quite a journey, I must say. Let me lie on radio here. There were some times we had some bumps in the roads, and miscommunications and all of that. But I must say my wife learned or taught me the patience I have today.
Yeah.
To round it all off, she taught me a lot of patience because there are certain lines you cannot overstep, and things. So in essence, she's the backbone really for all of this, I must say. And it started with her, and the support she has, it's tremendous.
Okay.
It's really...
So there was a point where there were no extra funds for her to actually go to a driving school. How did you feel about that? Seeing her being so passionate, and when you're passionate about something, when you want something but you don't have money at that time. So how did you feel about that?
Well, obviously it wasn't a really nice feeling not being able to being able to provide with the necessary funds to do that, and also, but I think we as a team, we managed to accept the certain things that we have and the things we don't have, and work with what we have, and so it wasn't a good feeling, but we managed.
But and again, God doesn't give battles to people or people that can't handle that luggage or that burden. Because when God assigns an assignment to you, you feel some type of way. You question. You get to have like many questions. Why me? And all that. Since you were working at the Telecommunications Company and you're part of the Telkom Subcontractors, did you at some point see yourself heading up a business? Did you see yourself like employing people? Did you see yourself creating job opportunities? Did you see yourself training individuals coming from different backgrounds? Did you see yourself heading up a business?
Not at the time, though. Not at the time. At the time, I was just like gaining money, or just for the extra cash. That was the main mission then. When I started off, it was all about the extra cash. It was about being able to survive. It was for the next buck, the next quick buck, and that was my vision then. Somebody once asked me recently, Mardon, if you look at your business a few years ago and you look at your business now, what is important to you now and what was important to you then? Then it was money.
Yeah.
Now it is a brand. For me now at this point in time, it's about building a brand. It's about building a brand that everybody will be familiar with, that you can put anywhere in the world and people will recognize that brand. You, for an example, take a clothing brand, Nike. You don't need to ask who built the brand. You know the brand itself. It speaks for itself. It sells itself. And I think that is my main mission at this point in time, is to build that brand. At that time, I didn't know that it would be this big. I believe our driving school is big. Our business is big. Our business is huge. I believe that we are the best in the Bay that you get. I believe that we stand out like a sore thumb in the whole of the Bay. We do our business differently than everybody else. There's nobody else out there that you can find that does what we do on the level that we do. We're all about excellence, high standard. And that is who we are. We are a driving school, not just a driving school, but we are beyond a driving school. In our driving school, I've always said to the Lord that our driving school is a business and also a ministry. It is a platform where we can minister to young individuals and we can impart in their lives and inspire them. I mean, my story itself speaks for itself. I mean, I come from a background, a very difficult background. I'm coming from a background of where there was nothing at all. A single mom striving to provide for kids, and also with her own struggles. The growing up was tough. It was very tough. I mean, especially with my mom. I must say that one of the things my mom always said, even in a struggle, my mom had her own struggles, still do though, but I must say that I never take the words for granted. She always taught me is that, my son, don't you get despondent when you see me. In Afrikaans, I could say it better.
Okay.
if I may. But sy het altyd gesê dat my kind, moet jy nie swak raak as jy sien ek raak swak nie. Strewe jy na beter. And basically that means that don't get weak when I'm weak. You strive for better. And that has kept me going all the years. Every day I try to progress in my business, in my marriage, in my walk with the Lord. I think of that. I remind myself that it's gonna get better. I just need to keep on succeeding. Don't look to the faults. Don't look to the negative things around you. Well, the journey was tough in the beginning. I mean, cars breaking every time. The car keeps on breaking. I was
about to ask about that.
You know, you get despondent along the way when the car starts breaking. And when things are not looking well. There was a time in my business where I was I had no money. I had to use my own money from my work
Yeah.
to survive on my business and to fix cars and to do that. And you know, you learn along the way as you start off. There are certain things you don't know. And as for me, starting out, I was self-taught. I taught myself. So there was certain things I had to learn the hardest way. You know, the things I wish I knew then what I know now. But if I knew it then, I wouldn't have learned the things that I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for me, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
Oh, okay. So tell us about you having to start with a small car, one small car, before you having like 4 different cars now.
Yeah.
And tell us about like starting with one car. Tell us about that journey and tell us about how your maintenance, how you maintained the things like petrol, having sufficient petrol, you know, all that. Can you take us
Well,
through?
it was like I just said. It was quite a journey with cars keep on breaking. And it was one of my sparks. I had a blue spark. We recently in 2014 we bought that car brand new, my wife and myself, and
Yeah.
yeah, the car kept on breaking quite a lot because now you must imagine you're dealing with brand new learners, you know, novice learners, and they abuse the pedals
Yeah.
and the, and the gears and the clutches, but
Yeah.
um, but as time went on, you know, you learn to do certain things, and for us financially it was very draining in the beginning, starting out. I mean, we used to borrow money here and there just to make sure that the business is running, and it was tough though.
Yeah.
With that one small car, it was tough. But one thing for sure is that the Lord kept us through.
Yeah, God is
The
amazing.
Lord helped us. He gave us the know-hows, and he provided. God kept on providing every time, even
Yeah.
today.
Oh wow, God is awesome. God is
Yeah.
everything. God is faithful, for His promises are yes and amen, and He delivers. He is not a man that should lie.
Yeah.
And so now, can you tell us about you having to fix when you're training? Like people come to your academy, wanting to have license and all that. So, have you ever encountered a scenario where your car gets the person that you're training maybe follows wrong rules and all that, maybe then your car has some faults, and how do you go about that?
Um, for a scenario, let's say a person that drove with us, I'm just trying to recap, and that we taught and that maybe followed the wrong rules or the wrong procedures and sequences and maybe made a mistake and the car breaks or has broken down. Yes, something like that did happen once. I think once it happened where a client wrongfully pressed the accelerator instead of the brake, and I had to like pull up the handbrake all the way and like went over paving at least, and now some bumper scratches and things. But as time went on, now you learn and you improve your technique of learning and of teaching, you know, and it's all about that. And I must admit that over the years we've encountered many of near accident incidents with learners, and we've gained the knowledge and the know-how to prevent all of these things. And one thing about us is our training is definitely high quality, and it has improved so much so that we've focused and have basically how can I put summarized or have looked into different ways how we could improve the training so that we could provide safe driver training. Even now, something very exciting coming up for us is the advanced driving training. That's also something we are busy investing in. We've just recently signed up with another company, SSS Advanced Driving. So we are in association with them. So where we will also be able to provide our community with advanced driver training as well.
So I'd like to ask for myself and the listeners. I would love to drive, and I would like to have a car or like beautiful cars, and now, but my worry is that driving long distances, how does one like stay focused while driving for long periods? How do you keep up with, like, how do you concentrate like in long periods, for long periods? How do you?
Well, if you're a person that's doing long distance traveling, like any other driver that does some long distance traveling, stopping, doing it in intervals is a good method. Rest,
Mhm,
pull off, don't drive with fatigue.
mhm.
Make sure you are multiple drivers in a vehicle if you are doing long distance driving, and rest as much as you can. Never drive with fatigue.
So can you please tell us about like training a person who has been into like a trauma? You, a person who takes long to get the information that you teach, and yeah, how do you?
Well, you treat it
break it down?
patiently. You do it patiently. If you are training a person that is struggling to get to learn how to drive, it's not all to do with a physical situation. It's all sometimes spiritual as well, or
Mhm.
mentally as well.
Yeah.
And we structure our training in such a way where we can provide the training suitable for our candidates, because everybody's different. And
Mhm.
you have a person there with struggles at home. Maybe the person is having a battle with their family members at home, or maybe they're going through a situation where there's maybe death in the family, or whatever the case might be. And like I said, we are a driving school, more than just a driving school. So we don't just look at the physical way of driving. We try and provide at least a platform where we could also minister
Mhm.
and speak through people, so that we can reach down to certain areas where they might have struggled, where the blockage can be. Maybe because a person can come to a driving lesson and they could be not there,
Yeah.
like they're physically there, but their minds are not there. They're worried about what's going on at home or whatever. And I must admit, my team, man, they are amazing. They are all on top of the game, and they are unique in every way. I mean, I've got so many responses from clients where they said, you know what, I've drove with Lily, and I've had such a great experience. She's reached to that point, to this point in my life. I've drove with Belinda. Belinda has managed to make me see things differently, from a different perspective, and there was lots of feedback I got from different clients over the years and over the time, that said to me, you know what, you guys helped my son to achieve his driver's license. My son is a nerve wreck, and you guys managed to get through to him, because it's not just about making business, it's not about making a next buck.
Yeah.
It's genuinely about making sure that you help the next person to reach that goal, even though how difficult they take to get to that point. And nobody, as I always say, that we never use the words but of course, or it's obvious. We try and refrain from those type of words, because they
Yeah.
ain't obvious for your novice learner, for your learner who's struggling. It is not obvious. So we come to a point of, you know what, we both are learning. We're doing this together. So yeah.
Wonderful. So can you tell us about you? There are people who can, or people who get to learn things fast, or fast learners, if I may put it that way. So if you have a fast learner, does that fast learner pay for the whole package, or that person gets to pay for those few days? Can you tell us about your course? Can you tell us about more about your business in general?
Okay, well, one great thing that we do is we do a free driver assessment. So if you are a person that has some driving experience,
Yeah.
and you've been driving for quite some time, and you know the know-hows of getting around with a vehicle, but not sure of the K53 procedures, or haven't been with a driving school before, or maybe have been, and maybe have been through the process, and you're unsure of the package you should take, we offer a free driver assessment. for those candidates.
Oh.
And obviously you should have a learner's license,
Yeah.
you know, for the driver assessment, because and then we come out to you for free of charge wherever you might be in Port Elizabeth, Utenake or Dispatch. We come out free of charge. We assist you. We assess and see that maybe for 10 to 20 minutes to see if what capabilities you have, and give you an idea of how many hours you would maybe take. You know, like you've asked for those people who can drive, how many hours. But we do have standard price lists. I mean, for your beginner learner, you're looking at 16 to 20 hours. And for your intermediate, you can maybe start at 10 hours or so. But it all depends until we get to you and see what is actually going on there.
I'm interested. So, how does one partner with you?
Well, it's easy. You send us a WhatsApp to 076 029 5823. You send us a WhatsApp, we'll respond to you, and we'll tell you this is the details we'll need from you, and these are our packages. You can check our packages out, see which one suits you. If you need an assessment, we'll arrange an assessment with you. And then the rest is history. We make your goal come true.
With the drivers academy that I know of, I'd find people saying that even if I can't drive, or if I'm self-taught, or if I'm a self-taught driver, I can just go to them and buy like a license. Do you take those things? Do you?
Well, that is a straight up no. Well, look, just advice for anybody out there who wants to buy a driver's license, or go the under the table route, the quick way. I would say, man, look here, those things always comes up. Those things are never gonna last. You know, it always takes a bad turn. You know, so just advice, rather not go for those ones, because if I'm caught up in something like that, and maybe I'm given a lesser sentence for whatever the case might be, I won't think twice telling, oh no, I sold to this one, or I sold to that one, or whatever the case might be, you know. So just advice, rather not go for things like that, you know, because they'll rat you out easily, and you know, you'll get into more trouble than what you were.
Talking about trouble, they're the ones who contribute more to the car accidents. I mean, so how do you feel when you're driving in front of someone who's driving like recklessly and not following the rules of the road? How do you feel? How does that make you feel?
Well, if I see somebody driving recklessly,
yes, knowing very well that you are like, you train people to drive and follow the rules and all that, how do you feel?
Well, how can I put it? I'm a guy who really keeps myself, how can I put it? I mind my own business, to put it that way. I mean, you're a guy, you know the rules, you've got probably license, and you know what's expected of you. I think for the sake of road rage, I'd rather not get involved, or I'd rather just refrain from saying anything. Or, you know, you get people that goes on like, hey, why are you driving so recklessly? Me, I'll rather refrain. I'll just leave you as is, and let's just mind my own business, you know. But if it's one of my learners, though, I'll be like, hey, that's not the way I taught you.
Okay. Listeners and viewers of Gqeberha FM, that was Mardon Louwskitter. I hope you heard it all from himself, and worry not if you missed out, because you can always go to our website at www.gqeberhaonlineradio.com, and you can get to listen at the old time and all that. I hope you had a great time, because we had a great time here in studio with Mardon. We had an awesome time with you. So thank you so much for coming through. Thank you. It was
It's a pleasure.
We were so pleased to have you. Thank you so much. So listeners, the time is now 13:28, and I will take you through Jonathan Nelson's song, I Believe. We have to believe that anything is possible. We have to believe that there's nothing impossible when we trust in God. We have to believe that whatever circumstances that we find ourselves in, we can we can overcome whatever if we believe, and not believing only, but believing in God. Thank you so much, Zee. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.